Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for being with us in today's panel. We'll make up for the lost time, I'm sure. It's a very important panel that follows right now. We are going to discuss about the strategic role of the Black Sea, given the new context, given the new global context, from an energy perspective, of course, but also from a geopolitical perspective. Without further ado, let me just introduce you the panelists, today's panelists, and we are going to head it on. I'm very pleased to have on stage His Excellency Mr. Sebastian BURDUJA, our Minister of Energy. Welcome, Minister. Also, we have an important foreign guest that I'm glad to salute and welcome on stage, Mr. Mitat ÇELIKPALA, the Dean of Faculty of Economics and Administrative and Social Sciences from Istanbul, from the Kadir University in Istanbul. Also, the President and CEO of Transgaz in Romania, Mr. STERIAN, and of course, the Vice President of OMV, Petrom, Mr. Alexandru MAXIMESCU. We are going to discuss about cooperation, about our joint potential, about what needs to be done in order to put everything in a new perspective. As I said before, given the new context, we have a war at the border. We have a shifting global order, if I might call it so. So Europe, maybe more than ever, needs to stand together and to have real joint strategies. So we have to cooperate and we have to do it. The way I'm proposing to head on with this panel is to invite each speaker to have an initial statement, an initial keynote statement of 3, 4, 5 minutes, and then we are going to continue with questions from the audience, so it's an open Q&A session, or of course with some of the questions that I've prepared. So without further ado, as I said, Minister, please, the stage is yours. Mr. Sebastian BURDUJA, Minister of Energy in Romania.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mîn NIUЩIU, distinguished panelists, distinguished guests. It's good to see many of you as we've worked together for a while now. I think it's going to be 2 years very soon. And the topic is so generous and so complex that it will be very difficult to approach in 5 minutes. But anyway, I think it's a lot more interesting to take any questions you might have. The Black Sea, Romania, these are pillars of regional security in the energy sector as well. And very briefly, I think we've managed to turn the past couple of years into a critical juncture where the Black Sea has become a focal point of our efforts. So I'll give you a couple of examples. Of course, the most important, the largest investment is the Neptun Deep project. And you have OMV Petrom here in the panel, and they will provide further details. But from the perspective of our ministry, that's a project that's very much on time. Yeah, so in 2027, early 2027, maybe sooner, we hope, we will be able to produce around 8 to 10 BCM per year from the Neptun Deep field. And that will double our production and consolidate our status as the #1 gas producer in the EU, which we have attained last year. And I'm very grateful for Romgaz, or to Romgaz, for increasing its production at a time when reserves are depleting. So that's a very hard thing to do. That gas, I think, will prove fundamental to the local economy. We have around 3,500 megawatts in gas power plants in the pipeline. Some of them are very advanced. Iernut is a famous topic for Romanians. We hope to be done with it this year. 3% left to complete. Mintia is the largest gas plant in the region, and it should be partially done in December with the first turbine, then January the second turbine, and middle of next year the last turbine, for a total capacity of 1,750 megawatts. It's a monster. Then, of course, we hope to use that gas to revitalize our fertilizer industry, to revitalize our pharma industry, so to use as much of it as possible in the local economy. But still, even if you factor in a 30, 40, 50% increase in consumption, there will still be gas available for exports. And OMV Petrom has proved the viability of the project by signing contracts already with Uniper in Germany and Energocom, I believe, in the Republic of Moldova. All that proves that this project should be on time and should provide a huge bonus of security to the region. At the same time, green energy is also important. So 2 projects I would like to highlight. Offshore wind. We have a law for offshore wind as of last year. It was a big accomplishment for Romania. As of today, I believe we're still the only country in the Black Sea Basin with a law on offshore wind, and we're actively working on secondary legislation and the detailed study that will identify the go-to areas so that in 2032, 2033, we could see the first windmills in the Black Sea. We hope for a installed capacity of 3 gigawatts, up to 7 gigawatts to begin, out of the total theoretical potential per the World Bank study of 76 gigawatts, which obviously is a very large number. The second project we care a lot about is the green corridor that will connect the Caspian Sea to the Black Sea, essentially Azerbaijan, Georgia, Romania, and Hungary. That will be an HVDC, longest underwater cable in the world. That is at the feasibility study phase, and that should be done by the end of this year. And we need it because we will need to evacuate the power from reactors 3 and 4 in Cernavoda, as well as the offshore wind capacities that we have planned. And that is aimed to be done by 2032. So we have to ensure not just the energy transition, but also the energy transmission. Beyond that, of course, I think Mr. STERIAN will update you on the plans for the vertical corridor. Romania is uniquely positioned not just to rebuild Ukraine, but also to transport a lot of gas to the region. And this vertical corridor, which can be used in reverse flow, and it was proven last winter in Moldova, it was a big help. We'll be able to bring gas from the south, including from LNG terminals in Greece, up north to Romania, Moldova, Ukraine, and back into the middle of Europe, where the dependency on Russian gas is still strong. In all of this, and I'll conclude my opening statement, we are very aware that not everybody's happy that Romania is a large gas producer. Not everybody's happy that we'll replace the dependency on Russia. So we're very cautious, and we have done a lot of scenario planning, and I believe we're ready. So my message is of confidence in our ability to manage everything in the coming years, so that indeed we will benefit from the great energy resources of the Black Sea. Thank you again, and thank you to the organizers for another wonderful edition of this forum.
Thank you very much, Minister. We'll shortly switch to Romanian for the next intervention. Headsets are prepared for you. Domnule Sterian, mă îndrept acum către...
Mr. Sterian, I'm turning to you now. Please give me your perspective. Speaking about the Black Sea, that becomes very important, but Romania in general becomes very important in this entire geopolitical context, and I believe that energy is one of the main pillars we can play with in the international table today, and you are at the center of this equation. Without transport, we would not be here today, but I will allow you to deliver your introductory words. Thank you. I will try to keep the microphone next to my mouth. Indeed, the transport infrastructure is crucial. What has happened so far was directed from east to west. And you have seen what happened with the Nord Stream 1 and 2, with the dependency of all EU countries, and not only their dependency on only one source of gas, the Russian gas. The Black Sea potential, and I am not only talking about Romania. The potential is fantastic. We have Neptune Deep. The Transgaz has finalized well, 99.95% next month, we will finalize a gas duct, 310 kilometers, about 500 million euro investment. At the end of June, maybe early July, when we finalize the acceptance works, we will have a ceremony to celebrate the commissioning of this project. So if I want to get back to the roots of your question about the Black Sea potential, we have to think of Bulgaria, where OMV Petrom is a leader of the project, and now after Total Energy have withdrawn, the Israeli company. I have heard only good news about Turkey beyond we have about 3.5 billion cubic meter gas. We have that raw deposit of gas that will double or triple. We have here a well-renowned specialist in energy from the University in Istanbul, in Kujuma, where we also have a very important deposit. We have had discussions. I joined Minister BURDUJA, an excellent diplomat. In energetic matters, we visited the southern corridor in Azerbaijan, then in Istanbul for a different conference. We've had bilateral meetings, and you will see what will happen with Romania as a consequence, because all roads going to, let's say, Rome, in inverted commas, all roads will go through Romania, because we have been building and we have had a strategic vision in the past 10 years, and now we see results that could only increase Romania's energy security, but also the energy security in other Central European countries and in the Balkans. The minister has already mentioned some indications, but the gas in the Black Sea is not sufficient just for us Romanians. Within 3 or 4 years, the consumption needs, completed with the contribution from offshore, but the needs will be higher. On the other hand, we have had different governments. We have had the Angel Salini program. There are many administrative territorial units getting connected to the new gas pipeline. So in the next 3-4 years, we will have more than 80% coverage for the population to be able to benefit from the gas source. Because allow me to give you this simple calculation. We have one household using wood for heating. They generate about 4 ton CO2. If they use gas, they would generate about 2 ton. So emissions would be reduced by half. So I think that will be important in 2050 as well. Gas will be important in 2050 as well. There will be transition up to 2070s. I am happy of the American approach promoting the LNG and the oil and gas industry. According to my initiative, Transgaz in Romania, since 2017, we came up with this initiative of the vertical corridor. We have representatives of companies here. In the past 10 days, we have been working at an increased pace, and in June, a product will be open for tendering. A product of a supergrouped capacity for all connection points starting from Greece with the LNG, Alexandropolis. There are technical issues, but I will clarify everything when I go to Athens in the early days of June to see what are the real reasons and why the lack of capacity.
Doamnei Gruvodă, Isacea Orlovca, Căușeni în Republica Moldova, până la Grebe.
And now to the Căușeni, Cordova, up to the Republic of Moldova, a product with a unitary tariff on all interconnection points with a 25% discount to facilitate the LNG from Greece directly into the storage facilities in Ukraine. I think this is a very important piece of news that you've given us, especially in the context of expanding the infrastructure cooperation and interconnection, without which we cannot really tap into this potential. We will continue this topic in the panel. I suggest that we listen a bit to the perspective. Yes, of course, Adrian. Absolutely.
Professor ÇELIKPALA. I will switch to you. I'm very interested in the Turkish perspective because we are basically all in this together. Maybe commercial or strategic interests might vary from time to time, but we are definitely in this together, and we have to handle geopolitical stability. We have national security, but also energy security and the security of supply itself. Maybe starting from your Turkish perspective at the Black Sea right now, we'll continue the discussion.
Thank you. Thank you. In fact, it's a pleasure and honor to be here in this Black Sea and Balkan Security Forum once again. You know, this energy issue, most probably from a perspective, is the only, I don't know, positive and prospective aspect in the Black Sea area. As the minister and previous speaker mentioned, there is a capacity and capacity development and a kind of a new cooperation possibility for the regional actors, as well as projecting this the cooperation towards the other regions, especially Europe and the other actors. But from Turkish perspective, the issue is a little bit different than the Romanian or maybe the Bulgarian approach. Last 2 weeks ago, I guess, the Turkish president announced that we have a new exploration in the Turkish sector. And it seems that with this official declarations, we have a kind of almost 800 BCM energy resources deposits in the Turkish sector, and all those sectors are very close by, and this is an important development. And Turkish authorities, Energy Ministry and Presidential Office gives a special priority for the Black Sea developments. Why? Because, you know, through the Black Sea, Turkey achieved a kind of a notable expertise on the energy exploration, drilling, and creating infrastructure. And it's a new concept or new phenomenon for Turkey, because, you know, Turkey is another actor from the perspective of energy I don't know, necessities. In the previous session, there was a big discussion on the competitiveness and how to revive the economies of the region as well as global actors. And energy issue was one of the top issues, how to create a kind of an efficiency. And then it turns out to the question of the Black Sea, that Black Sea has a capacity, and it's very important for the actors. For example, Turkish Petroleum Company developed a capacity and become the 6th biggest offshore company, and they are targeting to be the 4th. And they signed a new agreement with the Chinese partners. They are working with the Norwegians and other actors, international actors as well, which means the Black Sea resources are not the resources only for the consumption of regional actors, as well as to develop a new capacity and capability for some actors like Türkiye, trying to be a kind of a hub to connect the east-west and north-south. And this is an important thing. And I check the Turkish perspective, and this is the difference from Bulgaria and Romania, all the other regional actors. We have a strong economic growth and industrial development, but limited resources. And the Black Sea resources are not that much to support Turkish economy, but you know, it's a kind of a contribution to develop a new capacity and capability, as I said, and to create some cooperation schemes with the partner countries, including Romania and Bulgaria. And it helps to decrease the Turkey's dependency on Russia and some other actors. But the issue is how to develop those resources. This is the question mark, because you know, the targets of Turkey is to diversification, increasing domestic capacity and the others, resources diversity, renewables, and this is the issue that we need to discuss. For example, Turkey has some projects in the Aegean and the Mediterranean, and now we are working on the Black Sea capacity and capability for wind and other renewables, and the Black Sea is, from this perspective, is also important. And there are a couple of other issues that I would like to raise some bullet points we may discuss depending on your questions and comments. How to develop a kind of an infrastructure, a joint infrastructure. Now we have a kind of a facility in the Black Sea shore of Turkey, and how to connect others, and this is the topic, as well as how to respond to technological problems to develop the different projects or joint projects. This is also an important priority for Turkey, and the Black Sea plays a role to create a kind of a new perspective for Turkish energy authorities to work with the other actors, not only regional ones, but international partners as well. What the limitations of regional cooperation schemes is a limitation. We don't know how to work together on a regional basis with the littorals, for example. Now, new security initiatives by 3 actors and the potential participation of Georgia or Ukraine as well is a promising development, and energy may play a role to strengthen such a kind of a perspective and to respond some geopolitical threats or to decrease the threat perception via the cooperation. And therefore, I see the Black Sea from this perspective, and all those new explorations may contribute Turkey's energy security and energy as well as production and consumption, self-sufficiency. But the regional cooperation is much more important than to respond Turkey's expectations. And it seems that Romania's activeness, especially in terms of trade, and if you check Turkish-Romanian trade volume and cooperation schemes, you may surprise, and it's very important for Turkey as well. Then, via Romania and Bulgaria, Turkey become another actor in European Union structures and contribute from all other perspectives. Because, you know, we have connectivity projects as the Middle Corridor from the Caucasus to Europe, from the Middle East to Europe, from other alternative regions to Europe, and then the Black Sea may have a potential to support such a kind of a perspective. Let me stop here, and then depending on your questions and comments, I may concentrate or all those deposits and the potential of Turkey in the Black Sea in terms of energy exploration.
Thank you very much, Professor, and I've already decided upon my follow-up question that will come afterwards, because there's a very important and thin line between competition and cooperation, and I think we need to find the balance, and this will definitely happen. Will remain, of course, in the Black Sea, going to a national project, but of at least regional, if not continental importance, the Neptune Deep project, and I will hand over the stage to Mr. Alexandru MAXIMESCU, Vice President of OMV Petrom, one of the two joint venture players alongside the national company Romgaz, who are working on the offshore gas project at the Black Sea.
Thank you very much, Adrian. Hello also from my side. I'm very glad to be here. I think in the past years we were pretty much in the same format. And I'm very happy to see that over the past 2-3 years a lot of progress has been achieved by Romania, by Romanian companies in developing energy resources, especially in the Black Sea. This wouldn't have been possible without the help of the Romanian authorities, and we are glad for this. Romania is a country to invest. Romania is a country that looks forward, and I would like to testify this by our game-changing project Neptune Deep. In December 2021, OMV Petrom has launched the 2030 strategy based on 3 major pillars. First, low and zero carbon. Second, grow the regional gas footprint of OMV Petrom. Based on the third pillar, optimize the traditional business. At our heart of the second pillar lies the Neptune Deep project. The Neptune Deep project is developed together in a 50-50 joint venture with the national gas company Romgaz. It's a very strong partnership that has brought incredible results. Let me start by showing you a little bit our journey. It started early on in 2011-2012 with the first drilling campaign. But I'm very glad to announce that in the month of April we have launched the well spud. This means right now the Transocean Barents is drilling in the offshore waters of the Romanian Black Sea already the first production wells. We are in schedule, in budget, in time, and this is for us in the given international and regional circumstances a major achievement. We are looking forward a little bit what the Neptune Deep means in a broader sense for Romania. As the Minister has highlighted, it will consolidate Romania's role as the major gas producer in the European Union. It will bring major investments up to 4 billion capex in investments till end of 2026. First gas will come in 2027. The Minister is always an optimist. We as a corporate people who have to be much more cautious. Nevertheless, let's hope that his prediction will happen.
The media also expects the gas next year, so the Minister is not alone.
Yes. We stand to what we have said. What we have said, we have delivered. If we will over-deliver, this is to be seen. How looks the development of this resource? It's a project that has a depth of over 1,000 meters of water, so real deep water, and the part of the reservoirs that are in shallow waters. The main pipeline is at 160 kilometers away from the shoreline, and we will tie in with this pipeline at Tuzla and bring the gas to the national transmission system into Transgaz. The onshore natural gas metering station is also right now being built. We will enter to a micro tunnel under the shores, being sure that we are protecting the Romanian shoreline. Why do we consider that this is a game changer for Romania and for the region? Because of several reasons, but let me highlight the main ones. It will bring incredible economic benefit to Romania, huge revenues to the state budget. It will create, maintain highly skilled jobs, and will create an incredible economic benefit. It will increase Romania's profile in the region in terms of energy security, and it will contribute to our strategy towards zero and low carbon economy. Let me conclude with the following. Neptun Deep will for sure cover the Romanian consumption, and in addition to that, will be an energy security provider for the region. We as a company have already concluded two contracts. Minister pointed those two, namely one with a German company of Uniper, and a few weeks ago we signed a contract with Energocom, the state-owned company from Republic of Moldova. Neptun is here to give stability to Romania and to improve its profile in the region, and we are proud to be part of this. And for further questions, I'm here very happy to answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Maximescu. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have absolute priority in asking the question. We have the Romanian official institutional perspective provided by His Excellency Minister BURDUJA and also President of Transgaz, Mr. STERIAN. We have a key player in the Black Sea, OMV, and we also have a NATO ally and a regional partner with huge potential, with huge development potential, Turkey, Professor ÇELIKPALA. So just raise your hands and I'll be extremely fast in reaching you. Please. My colleague already. I was not fast enough.
Thank you. Yes? Oh. I'm Viorel Stănilă from the Foreign Ministry of Romania. I have a question for all panelists.
Perfect.
We are talking about projects which would deliver somewhere after 27. But we have a war in Ukraine, and I would very much like to know, and maybe also the other people in assistance would like to know, how do the panelists factor in the security climate in the Black Sea region when designing these energy projects?
Minister BURDUJA.
Easy question, Mr. Stănilă. Thank you. In my opinion, and this is a security forum, there is no security without energy, and there's no energy without security. Such projects in the Black Sea, as Neptun Deep, or the offshore wind farms, require billions of euros. So the Neptun Deep investment is around 4 billion. We expect it will contribute to the state budget around 20 billion. And when we speak of investments of such magnitude, believe me, all this is factored into the assessment. For Neptun Deep too, the final investment decision was taken about 2 years ago. I was just starting out as minister, so we had the war going on, and we've had many discussions with the companies, but also with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Defense, the national intelligence community on different scenarios, different risks, and we have the instruments prepared. It's not just, by the way, conventional attacks, it could be cyber attacks, it could be other types of attacks. There have been other types of attacks. So if you look at the propaganda and the disinformation that we're facing over the past year or so, it is unbelievable. So, you know, we've had important people who ran for president in this country that claimed that our gas reserves are zero. They were close to 3 billion cubic meters fall of last year, end of fall last year. So, you know, clearly Russia will be very interested in not enabling these things to happen. But I think we are prepared, and of course we're relying on our strategic partners. The Transocean Barents platform, by the way, is an American platform. So they're there drilling right now in the Neptun Deep. And many of the things we're designing, obviously, are in close cooperation with our strategic partners. And I believe that it's not just in Romania's interest to exploit these resources, but it's in Europe's interest and in America's interest. Thank you.
If you want to extend on that.
Yeah, very briefly. Although sometimes we have the feeling that in Romania things are not coordinated, not well prepared, I would like to give you some few insights about Neptun Deep. This is something, an area that I am familiar with. And I can tell you that we have had over the past years an incredible cooperation with the Romanian authorities. We have played several scenario risks for the project, and we are in a very close contact also with our neighboring countries in the Black Sea area. Common initiatives have been started, and I think the model that was developed for Neptun Deep is perhaps something that could be translated also for other major economic and security projects for this country. Without entering into details, I can tell you that it is working, and it's a lot of effort that has been deployed not only by us but also by the institutional partners. But it is working, and I think it's a model that can be replicated also for other projects. Thank you.
Domnule președinte Sterian, spunea și domnul
Chair Sterian, the minister said as well that there's no security without energy, there's no energy without security. You said, you referred to Romania's needs that will increase, and we add also the regional needs, and Romania can be an important player from this exporter perspective. How ready is today's infrastructure? I don't have to say it again, everyone knows. We also have a war going on at the border, but these are tensions that go beyond our region, and these are not just commercial. So how ready is our infrastructure, and what are the risks that you see, taking into account everything that is going on? Because you referred to the need to increase capacity. How ready are we? How ready we are? I've just said so in my previous intervention. We've invested, and what we've invested in the 10 years is notable. Secondly, once transit is stopped from the Trans-Balkanic pipeline, also at our initiative, Transgaz, Romania, we've turned the pipelines from the Trans-Balkanic pipeline. We've created from capital to capital, from Azerbaijan, Ankara, Istanbul, Athens, Sofia, Budapest, Kiev, Brussels, our American strategic partners, and we brought the vertical corridor. And we said that We will generate a product that is functional, and we will now turn it operational by offering this product. Of course, that is the first step that will lead to storing. By the 31st of October, when we have the storage season, so that it can store especially the American LNG, alongside Greek, Bulgarian, American, Ukrainian partners, from the Republic of Moldova partners, where we have a very good, they have a very good transport system. Now we've sent a joint letter to the European Commission saying that this product is not in the schedule and regulations of DG Energy. We've sent it to the regulatory authorities in the above-mentioned countries, Greece, Bulgaria, Romania, Ukraine, Moldova, so as to include the capacities in their regulatory actions. And we are waiting for the answer on Wednesday at most. And this product will be offered, as I said, on the set date. I won't get into technical details. I would not like to do that right now. Everyone knows about them. So it's quite the maximum challenge. With Hungary, we have a capacity of 2.6 billion cubic meters of gas. Also, Slovakia. You saw that once the transit was stopped through Ukraine, you saw what the Prime Minister, the Slovakian Prime Minister did. And as you know, Slovaks have access. So we are secured. We have a very important factor of extra energy security, not just for Romania, but states in Eastern and Central Europe. And that's why I said, and in the Balkans, that's why that I said that all roads lead to Rome, in inverted commas, but passing through Romania. And we have a great representation here, Her Excellency, the Ambassador of Greece in Romania. We speak, we work with the other ambassadors, with the minister. We have a full and open cooperation, even at midnight. We speak, analyze. So we are on the right path. That's why we are on the right path today. So that's why I understand that the challenges, and Mr. STERIAN, it's quite the conclusion. So challenges from production, technical, on the regulatory side, maybe. Well, I see. So it's a good piece of news. Well, Adrian, one of the main roots of what is happening today on the globe, starting to what is happening at our border with the war with Ukraine and stopping this transit. So the main route is the energy transport infrastructure, which is not just gas-related. We still have an issue with the electricity transport, and actually we managed to bring in the Republic of Moldova to exit from the dependency from the electricity in Kuchurgan produced in Transnistria. But at the same time, as a transport or distribution operator in the Republic of Moldova, we've brought also this ease of mind in Transnistria as well. Okay, thank you for your answer.
If you want to add on the energy security issue in the region regarding the question from the audience. If not, I promise you a follow-up question in terms of, but please, if you want to add on the security topic.
Energy security, or the security of all those infrastructures in the Black Sea, is a concern for three of those countries producing natural gas in the Black Sea. Of course, it's a concern, but this energy security is not only a security issue for the energy producing or consuming companies or the state. It's the part and parcel of general security perspective. And first of all, we are living in a secure environment, and All three countries are NATO member countries now. And NATO developed a huge, knowledge on this protection issue. And Turkey, for example, an experienced actor to create any kind of a protection and cooperation schemes in all over the region. And the Black Sea in general is a kind of a pivotal transportation hub for global and regional supply chains with its railways, not only infrastructure, energy infrastructure, but railways, roads, rivers, pipelines, and grids. And this is a concern for three countries, but other regional actors, European partners, or some other supply countries like Azerbaijan as well. But this is an important pillar of security even for Russia. They have their own pipelines running through the Black Sea area, and they are using those pipelines. I'm sure that if the concern is one of those aggressive actors within the region, I'm not expecting such a kind of a Russian move. If they try, and then it's going to be a kind of not a regional, but a global security issue. Therefore, this is a challenge. And all the actors, including Turkey, we have a very strong energy diplomacy dealing with all those actors, and it's going to be helpful to resolve those issues.
Thank you. We have time for we have about 9 minutes left. So, if there is, please.
Oh, thank you very much. My name is Mihai Stier. I work as an associate expert with New Strategy Center, and I have a question directed to all the panelists, if I may. It's a follow-up for what has been already touched upon by my previous, the previous intervention. Would you see of value a group, interagency group, regional, multinational group, to think about a new concept of operation in the Black Sea in order to assure the protection of and the security of the critical infrastructure? Why I'm asking this? It seems that statements like, we are prepared, we have everything we need, it's somehow limitative. Should we think a little bit forward to think to new solutions, how to protect the infrastructure in the context, especially now when from 3 years now, Russia is targeting the energy infrastructure in Ukraine day by day. So should we think to a new concept, to a new approach, including, I don't know, a new sensor approach, new unmanned technologies to protect this kind of solutions? Do we need new solutions for fulfill this task?
Thank you very much, Mr. Stier. I will have just one small request to answer briefly so that we can conclude also in the round. So, do we need supplementary security measures in the Black Sea, military or civil?
Well, I mean, the obvious answer is yes. And I would never dare to say that we have everything, and you can always do more. And I've suggested earlier that cyber is a particular area of concern. We have launched an initiative that we've been working on for the past year. Speaking of bureaucracy, it's still being approved by the various ministries and agencies for a new cyber center. Cyber response center would be the first in the Romanian government that's sector-based, paid for by European funds from the Modernization Fund. It is literally at the very last approval, which is the Ministry of Justice. Well, we will have a new government, so that will come, I think, in the next month or so, including an approval by the Supreme Defense Council. So I think that's an initiative that we have to push forward. Do we need more cooperation? 100%. And the good thing is we get along very well with countries in the basin. So a lot of our initiatives are common. I mentioned the Green Corridor. We've signed an MOU with Greece and Bulgaria on offshore wind and storage, I believe, and other joint projects. So the premises are there, and we're very open. I'm personally very open to any inputs from civil society, from think tanks such as the New Strategy Center. My full respect. And I think that together what we could do as a government is create that platform with different governments and invite you to suggest things, to put in place the strategies, the actions we need.
Thank you. Please.
Definitely we are looking at threats. They are becoming unconventional. We have hybrid risks that are taken into account, not only the conventional ones. We are looking at unmanned platforms. We are looking at sensoric. We are looking to learn from others, and especially thanks to a platform like New Strategy Centers, where also Ukrainian colleagues are invited. We are learning also from them, and I think that's very important to have this exchange, to take over best practice, and to be prepared. Thank you.
Professor.
Another point, the capacity building and sharing some information, including intelligence, and to teach us, to teach every one of us. It's very important. For example, I was part of a NATO mission on the critical infrastructure protection, including energy, in Bosnia-Herzegovina. Therefore, our joint, effort to find some unimaginative and imaginative ways how to respond any kind of a new threat under the current environment. This is a technology-intensive area, and it's not easy time to time catch up this technology, and how to respond any kind of a threat is a kind of a process. Therefore, sharing information, sharing intelligence, and creating new ways and means, and developing a capacity and capability altogether is the only answer. Therefore, any kind of a threat, any kind of a, unconventional way to contribute to protection of all those infrastructures is a joint responsibility. Of course, individual nations and countries have their own priorities, and they have their own ways and means, but we have to work together, and therefore it's very important to create a kind of a common mindset and a narrative altogether how to respond to those threats. It's a possibility, and we have to work on it.
You actually have anticipated my follow-up questions from before and provided me with an answer right now. Domnule STERIAN, dacă doriți să adăugați și concluzia dumneavoastră.
I still owe you one answer from my first intervention, when I mentioned that Romania's consumption will at least double in the next 2, 3, 4 years, and not even the gas from Neptune Deep will be sufficient, given that both the onshore production has been working for so many years. This is why we are the first country as production, the first drilling point was in Romania. We have new energy production capacities, more than 3,700 megawatts. Here we will have consumption of at least 5,000 cubic meter. We have the plant in media early in the morning, very early in the morning, when other people are having coffee. I and the minister were discussing how we can coordinate so that so many megawatts necessary should be submitted to the national transport system early in June. So we have here about 5 billion cubic meter. These plants are at different stages of development, starting from a technical project, a tender procedure, already implementation, or final stages as the one in media. I mentioned Turkey, that will be commissioned soon. We have the plants in Constanța, Craiova. Romgaz is doing a great job at the initiative of our government. They took over Azomureș, the chemical plant. We have invested sectors worldwide, and I'm happy to see Romanian factories asking to get connected, and they will be consuming huge gas volumes. This is why we created this system, and we rely on Caragele, on the Caragele deposit that entered the last stage to increase production capacity. And the national transport system developed due to the vision of Transgaz that will bring the sustainable development in our country and energy security both for Romania and internationally.
Thank you, Mr. Maximescu. Thank you, Mr. STERIAN. Thank you, Minister Burduja. I know it's difficult in 50 minutes to discuss about the security of supply and the regional security in the Black Sea region in the current times, but this is it. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to the panelists and. Please pay attention to the agenda for the coming up events and also the coming up breaks. See you very soon. Thank you.